Imagine sending your daughter on a spring break trip. She's bright, full of dreams, studying medicine in the United States. She promises to call you in the morning to tell you how the ocean looks, how the waves sound, how free she feels. But that call never comes. Instead, you get a message that your daughter vanished in the middle of the night on a crowded resort beach in the Dominican Republic. No body, no clear witnesses, just rumors, conflicting statements, and a single man who was last seen with her. In March 2025, the disappearance of 19-year-old Sudiksha Konkani shocked not only her family and community, but also sparked headlines across the United States. What began as a dream vacation turned into a nightmare of unanswered questions. Was she truly swept away by the sea, or was something far more sinister at play? Sudiksha Konkani wasn't just another college student. Born to Indian immigrant parents in Virginia, she was the hope of her family. Intelligent, disciplined, and ambitious, she was pursuing pre-med at the University of Pittsburgh. Friends described her as kind, deeply focused on her studies, and someone who carried the weight of her family's dreams. Her parents had worked tirelessly to give her the kind of education and opportunities they never had. To them, Sudiksha wasn't just a daughter. She was a symbol of their sacrifices. When spring break came around, like many American students, she wanted a chance to relax. Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, was one of the most popular spring break destinations. Sun, beaches, and vibrant nightlife drew thousands of young people each year. Sudiksha traveled with friends, checked into the Rio Republica Hotel, and began her short vacation. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until the night of March 6, 2025. According to reports, Sudiksha was last seen near the beach, close to the waterline, around 1:30 a.m. Witnesses placed her with one man, Joshua Stephen Reeby, a 23-year-old American from Texas, also vacationing in Punta Cana. They were talking, laughing, and walking together. For some, it looked like two young people enjoying a night at the beach. But just hours later, everything changed. By dawn, Sudiksha was gone. Her friends couldn't find her in the hotel. Her parents, thousands of miles away in Virginia, received the worst phone call of their lives. Dominican police began searching the beach. They suspected drowning, claiming the waves that night were strong. But strangely, her body never surfaced, despite searches along the shoreline and out at sea. And then came the detail that fueled suspicion. Joshua Reeby was the last known person to see her alive. Dominican authorities questioned Reeby. He admitted he had been with her, but denied wrongdoing. He claimed that Sudiksha went toward the water alone and that he left when she didn't come back. But investigators, and Sudiksha's parents, were not convinced. Why would a young woman, in the middle of the night, suddenly walk alone into the ocean? Where was her phone? Why did Reeby's story keep shifting in small details? Dominican Republic prosecutors held Reeby as a person of interest. The case became international news. Indian American communities across the U.S. demanded justice. Students and parents alike followed updates closely, shocked at how quickly a simple vacation had spiraled into tragedy. But as weeks passed, cracks in the case began to show. Dominican officials insisted drowning was the most likely explanation. Meanwhile, U.S. investigators from Loudoun County, Virginia, where Sudiksha's family lived, raised concerns. Sheriff Mike Chapman of Loudoun County didn't buy the drowning conclusion so easily. He pointed out critical gaps in the investigation. No body was ever recovered. In most drownings near Punta Cana, bodies wash up within hours or days. Evidence was withheld. Dominican authorities never fully shared Reeby's phone records or forensic reports with U.S. investigators. Inconsistencies. Statements given by witnesses at the resort were never transparently released. Meanwhile, Sudiksha's parents begged for answers. They believed their daughter did not simply drown. They wanted the investigation reopened, handled with the seriousness it deserved. In March 2025, a judge in the Dominican Republic officially cleared Joshua Reeby of involvement. He walked free, with no charges. For the Dominican system, the case was effectively closed. For her parents, it was the beginning of a lifetime of torment. Back in Virginia, Sudiksha's family faced another devastating hurdle. Without a body, there could be no formal death certificate. Her parents petitioned for a legal declaration of death, or at least a recognition of legal absence. But Dominican law makes such declarations extremely difficult. It requires years of waiting, with specific legal conditions. For her parents, this meant being trapped in limbo. Their daughter was gone, but not officially dead. They couldn't properly mourn, couldn't move forward, couldn't even handle practical matters like education loans or legal settlements. They continued to press U.S. officials to demand more from Dominican investigators. They gave interviews, pleading that their daughter not be forgotten. But as of late 2025, the truth remains unresolved. So what really happened to Sudiksha Konkani? Was she simply pulled out by a riptide, her body lost to the ocean? Or did someone ensure that she would never come back from that beach? Why was the investigation so incomplete, evidence withheld, and witnesses dismissed? Was it a matter of poor policing or a cover-up to protect tourism in the Dominican Republic? For her parents, for her community, and for everyone who has ever sent their child on a vacation, the case of Sudiksha Konkani is more than just a tragic disappearance. It's a chilling reminder of how quickly life can be stolen and how fragile the pursuit of justice can be across international borders. As of 2025, Sudiksha's body has never been found. Her family still waits, and the world is left asking, will we ever know the truth?